So I've been playing a combined version of Pleasant View and Strangetown recently, and when I got to Blue Water Village in my playthrough, and I started playing the Jaquet household, I noticed some weird things, and I haven't played this household much in the past, so I didn't notice it then. So yeah, a couple of weird things happened when I was playing this household. I didn't get footage of it, but I basically replaced Denise's bed here, and with a different double bed. And I'll do it again now, but I don't think this glitch will be replicated. But it was really weird because her double bed just disappeared. And I did Google it, and apparently some other people have had double beds, or just beds in general, disappear in The Sims 2 after buying them. But this was the first time I'd ever gotten that glitch, and I don't really know what causes it. I just, like, I'm not sure if it was, like, it disappeared after she clicked on it. Maybe the bed was deleted due to some error, because I didn't have bullprop turned on. And I think there was a specific bed I bought too. I kind of want to buy it again so it's replicated. But I think... No, it wasn't that one. Maybe it was this one. I feel like it was this bed. I had a different cover though that I bought. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is going to happen again. Like, it was just... I noticed later that the bed had just disappeared. It was just so odd. No, I don't know. I don't think the bed situation is going to happen again. But there's something else weird about this household, and basically sometimes, yes, you can see it. You can see it. She's rolled the fear. So she rolls a fear to catch her ex-husband cheating, and he's dead. I don't know if this was done deliberately, and I don't know why it is this way in the first place, but yeah, because her husband is dead at the beginning of, because there must be some tick box somewhere that hasn't been unchecked for their relations, because there are lots of Max's Sims that in their family tree, when you look, they stay technically married even after death. It still shows up, like well, trying to think of another example, but I'm sure there are examples of living Sims that have deceased partners. Actually, it's possible that the reason this happened is because she's still alive, but I think there are other living Sims. So yeah, there are other examples of widowed Sims in the game, of course. I don't know why I couldn't think of any examples, but after I finished recording and started editing the video, I thought of an example, so I quickly went into the game because I wanted to record Olive Specter's tree, because of course Olive Specter is also widowed, and it doesn't seem to affect her in gameplay the way it affects Denise. So it's interesting that Denise has that problem, but just quickly, like taking a quick detour, when I looked at her family tree, I opened up the version of Strangetown that I used in my previous video, where I took all of the Strangetown corrupted Sims, well not all of them, but a few of them, and moved them to Blightgate. And Olive's family tree is now kind of weird. She's got, like, her sister here, right? It's just a grey blob in her family tree. So just look at Olive's thumbnail, right? And then if I click on Willow, her husband is invisible, and Willow looks identical to Olive. Like, Willow's thumbnail has just been replaced with Olive's thumbnail. It's so weird. And then you've got, like, I don't know what happens if you click on Creon. Oh my god, Creon... Why? What the heck? Okay, I didn't even expect this to happen, but yeah, I just reopened this neighbourhood and all kinds of crazy stuff has apparently happened to her family tree. This household is just... I'm gonna have to explore this more later, I think, but this is completely unrelated to the video I was trying to make here with the Jaquet household. So Creon's thumbnail is now also Olive, because everyone is Olive now. Every corrupt Sim is Olive. So that is just so strange, but you know, no, I can't like focus on this too long because I have to go back to the actual video. But yeah, I just wanted to include that quickly. Actually, what I think is happening is just whatever the last Sim you click on is, that's the thumbnail that it seems to use. So right now Creon is Ophelia because I clicked on Ophelia. And I bet if I click on Hecate, I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it actually. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, but yeah. So it just copies over whatever the last thumbnail is that you use. Okay, well that's just really odd. I've never seen that happen before. Their thumbnails were fine though. Before. Yeah. I'm wondering if that just happens to... I moved them from the neighbourhood, of course, so that's probably why this has happened. I mean, it's kind of cute in a way, because it's sort of like, maybe she's still mourning her husband or something like that, because I do think it's implied that he's died recently in the kind of game story as well. So, but yeah, so she still thinks that her husband is alive and that she can be caught. And also, that's another thing I'm going to show you in a minute. If she does have a romantic interaction with anyone, she'll get a memory. So just to quickly show what I mean, I created a separate version of this neighborhood because I didn't want to mess around with my Strange View one, but if you do start, like, that's another thing. It counts as her first kiss, which is very odd, and she doesn't have any memories. But yeah. So, I don't know if this isn't like a clean template of Blue Water, so I don't know if it's fixed in like some other version, but at least in this version, yeah, it still counts as her first kiss. And you'll also note that she gets a memory to say that she's had an affair. Even though her husband is dead, it still counts as an affair. Most Sims, as you can see here, they get these create a Sim memories like met Mystery Sim, became best friends, had very first kiss, kissed Mystery Sim for the first time. They get all those memories so that when they play, they don't have the first kiss interaction, which is why none of the adult pre-made Sims have that interaction. But she didn't get any of those memories for some reason. I guess they forgot to put them in. So because of that, the game thinks that she hasn't had a first kiss before. So that's one odd thing. And then the other thing is that it doesn't seem to recognize that she isn't still married to her dead husband. He also doesn't have a grave anywhere, I don't think. He doesn't have a grave on this lot, and I don't know if his grave exists in the game, but I don't think it does, which is already not a great thing when it comes to Max's Sims. If they don't have a grave, that's usually not a great sign. So yeah, his name is Xavier, right? So he might be in the default section, Xavier, possibly. Elredic. Decker, Gunforgoth, Agnes Crumplebottom. Yeah, I can't see him, and he should be dead. And so he should really the default one is usually where dead Sims end up, but oh, he could be in the ghost section, I suppose. Malcolm Mangrove II. You see, the weird thing about these is I don't know where their ghosts are. And, I mean, their graves. I don't know where their gravestones are. I don't know if they're maybe on the Goth graveyard lot, but I don't think they are. Right. So here he is, and he shows up with it. I'm assuming it will say he died on another lot. Right, yeah. So they always come back alive when you do that, but that's kind of weird. No. Oh, and now she finally has... That's another thing. She didn't have the memory of him dying before. Which I think could be related, since she doesn't have any memories and she doesn't have the death memory. It's possible that's why the game has, like, the cheating thing. And I'm actually wondering if we add him to this lot quickly, before we add him, if they're in the middle of doing like a romantic interaction, I know that ghosts in The Sims 2 can catch their partner cheating, even though it's not cheating, and then they can get angry about that, I think, but I don't. So if we just add him quickly. No, okay, he doesn't react because he leaves too quickly and he's in the process of leaving. But yeah, I do wonder if it I mean, if it technically still counts as cheating, if we make her have an affair with someone else, it should come up as a memory, and then I would be interested to know if it will count as cheating now as well. Kennedy Cox is already here, right? So let's add him. Okay, so now that she has the death memory, I'm wondering if this is... Oh, okay. So it still counts as an affair, even though he's dead, so... Oh! Oh no, okay, yeah, the memory is still there. So, yeah, and it counts as 3 loves at once as well, but she only has 2 loves because her husband's dead, so it just really doesn't recognise the fact that he's dead, which is kind of interesting, I suppose, from a kind of storytelling perspective. Like, maybe she hasn't accepted the fact that her late husband has died, so she feels guilty. But yeah, I don't know whether that was intentional or not. I doubt it was intentional. There are no other Sims that have that sort of thing going on. I just thought that was like an interesting quirk that applies to this household, and I'd never knew about that before until I was actually playing and I saw it, and initially I thought like, oh no, this Sim is supposed to be dead, this is corrupted, and I don't know if it is corruption related or not, to be honest, but it could just be a glitch, or like, I don't think it's technically corruption. I think it's just that some of the settings are mixed up with this particular Sim, but it is weird. But apparently it's not unique to like my game. Apparently, according to the Sims 2 wiki, this always happens, and I think it's related to the reason the memories weren't there in the first place. So the second thing I wanted to talk about is if I go into the Sim browser, yeah, there's a Sim called Tiffany Sampson. Now, initially I thought maybe that's just a coincidence because Sims sometimes have the same name, but when I like looked at her, I realised that she has the same hair and the same outfit as Tiffany Sampson from one of the university subhoods. So yeah, Tiffany Sampson is a playable Sim at Sim State University. She lives in the Trivar sorority house, but she has the S1 skin tone in the game. You can see that the game has it set so that she's treated as male. This is something that's happened to a lot of the university townies and playable Sims from my Blightgate neighbourhood. Because of the weird way the neighbourhood generated, a lot of them ended up corrupted, a lot of them ended up deleted, and the deletion ended up spreading their data around so that Sims were merged. I've talked about this in previous videos, but this particular playable Sim interested me because I noticed that she's been given the S4 skin tone, and before I noticed another Sim who is a townie who also had the wrong skin tone, and I don't know if it was the S1 skin tone. I think maybe it wasn't, but their skin tone had also been swapped around. I thought initially that maybe their skin tones had actually been swapped with each other's, so that Tiffany ended up with the S4 skin tone and the other townie ended up with the S1 skin tone, but I don't think they have the S1 skin tone. I think they might actually have the S3 skin tone. So there's a lot of weird swapping of genetics that has gone on in Blightgate with Sims being merged together. So this is the townie I'm talking about. And yeah, as you can see, I don't know actually, I think it might be the S2 skin tone. I mean, it could be S1, but it doesn't seem pale enough to me, just looking at it. If I look at Alison's Sim DNA, you can see that her skin tone is the S2 skin tone. So that's not actually the S1 skin tone that Tiffany has. So she probably got the skin tone DNA from another Sim, because I do think that most of the broken DNA, maybe not always, but generally it comes from like DNA and data from one Sim getting mixed, like getting spread around the neighborhood and merged with other Sims who don't have that data. Like, it's kind of like a mix and match situation that's happened to a couple of other Sims I've noticed. I found that interesting because I did wonder initially whether their skin tones had been mixed around, but I don't think that's what's happened. But yeah, Tiffany has ended up with the S4 skin tone for some reason, and Alison has the S2 skin tone, even though she normally has the S4 skin tone. So there's a lot of weird little things like this. I think the vast majority of the townies and the playable Sims from the university suppers in my game have just been completely deleted. Most of them are just gone. None of them were there actually in their houses. Their lots were completely empty, but Tiffany actually does still exist. Tiffany is normally a playable sim in Sim State University, but in Blightgate she's appeared as an NPC, which you can see here. So that's odd. I don't know what kind of NPC she is. I don't know what her... I think there's like... You can tell from some of the numbers, but I can't remember which one, what the NPC type is, and I also don't have a list of all of them or anything like that. Tiffany in this neighbourhood is listed as an NPC, and it would be interesting to know what kind of NPC she's working as, because I didn't encounter her in my game or anything, as far as I remember, so I don't know what it is that she's been assigned to do. But yeah, that's just really weird. Because, like I say, most of the Sims were deleted, but there are a few who are still there, but I don't think any of the ones that are still there are completely unscathed. Like, there's always been something that's changed about them, whether it's the gender that the game treats them as, their skin tone. Some of them are pets now. Some of them are like, they went from playable Sims to NPCs. So there's a whole bunch of like weird stuff that's happened to basically all of them. So a whole bunch of them are pets, like the Larson family from Open for Business. One of them is a pet that I found when in a previous video that came up. And the Triku family, they're like dead Sims have been given weird roles, so that like the data has just spread out everywhere. I thought I'd just go into the game and like add them both to a household quickly to show you what they actually look like in game and everything. This is the house that she was supposed to be living in, but as you can see it's completely empty. So is that one, just completely empty. I've renamed this house because when I was playing I made another fraternity which I think I gave the same name, but you can only have like one household with that name, so this is the other one. And yeah, so I'm gonna move it still counts as a Greek house, so you can't move the sim in. I really wanted to do this on the sorority lot. Okay, so this lot's just completely broken now because there are no members of the house, but it still says a Greek house. I'd have to change that in SimPE. Well, I guess... Okay. Alright then, I'll just do this on another lot, I guess. I'll just move her in Actually, why not just... I kind of ruined my plan that I was gonna do, but alright, I'll just move her into a generic university lot. I figured since they're both university Sims, they could just be added quite easily. Okay, so she has to age up because she's a teen. I just added to the university neighbourhood. Okay, so I've just quickly added them to the household, and this is what these Sims... Oh, Turf Lila? Oh right, that's my other Sim, yeah, because they're in a relationship. I think she's a downtownie now. And randomly friends with all kinds of random people. Okay, so yeah. This is Tiffany, and the only Sim Tiffany knows is one of my old playable Sims. She doesn't seem to have a family tree, which neither does she. I really want to know what happened to her. She's actually an adult, so she wasn't a uni NPC, she's actually just an adult now, and she's become an adult NPC, I guess. She has the want to become a professional party guest, which is odd because she's a knowledge sim, and I think she's a knowledge sim in the game as well, but her lifetime want doesn't match up. Sometimes that happens if you have a secondary aspiration, but she doesn't, and you know, because I haven't played her, so of course she doesn't. I don't think any of the Sims come with secondary aspirations. You have to add them yourself. So that's odd. She also has some really random wants, in my opinion, but I guess sometimes when Sims are first played they do. But yeah, that's definitely an odd lifetime one, because I'm pretty sure that the knowledge aspiration sims don't have lifetime ones to be professional party guests. She also has these random random inventory items. She has this stereo system, which is possible she bought that at some point from the electronics store, because she knows this sim in my game, before I realised it was broken, he owned the electronics store in Bluewater, which actually, and I didn't remember this, but Malcolm Landgrab owns that, and it didn't register with me. Like, all of the lots, all of the shopping district lots were unowned. None of the Bluewater sims were there. The electronics store, which Malcolm Landgrab usually owns, he didn't own anymore, so I made one of my sims buy that lot, and I'm assuming since she knows him, she was on that lot at some point. I do think NPCs occasionally visit other lots. They seem to do it less, I think, than townies. So yeah, she's unemployed, she has these randomized skills. It says that she went to college, but actually I think it does that with all NPCs that are generated later. Since it's been a long time since I've played the university expansion in a normal neighbourhood, and also like a really long time since I've played Tiffany, or that sorority house. I have played it before, but like it was a very long time ago. I don't remember if she has a family tree. But she doesn't now, so that's been removed, unless it's possible that she didn't have one anyway, because I don't know whether the university sims were created with family trees like many of the other sims. But one way or another, yeah, she doesn't have that now. Yeah, so that is weird, but I thought I'd just show what their corruption looks like in game quickly. I don't think there's anything else, but oh, her wants are re-rolling. Yeah, so she has more normal knowledge once now. The game recognises both of them as males, so they have like the male voice actor as well. I think I've got free will still turned on. And she still has that weird lifetime one. I didn't think that would regenerate, but you never know. And her personality is also different from what it normally is, because she's normally an Aries, but she's now a Pisces, and she has like different points. So I do wonder if there's another sim that had this personality that she swapped with, but I wouldn't be able to figure it out. It could just be completely randomized as well after she generated weirdly, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. That was just a couple of things I wanted to talk about, but I felt like neither of these topics were really interesting enough to create 2 single videos, so I just merged them together into a sort of compilation instead. So before I go, I was also playing the Specter household recently, and Olive ended up dying. There was kind of a funny little story there. I posted it on the Sims 2 subreddit with a screenshot, though I didn't record most of what was happening. Olive hired a butler who ended up having the name Hart, which is an incredibly cursed name, so I planned to have her kill him. But since I still had the ghost mod that I edited in my game from my 100 ghost video, all of the ghosts were coming out most nights on the lot and causing chaos, so while she was at work, one of the ghosts set fire to the lot, and she came back before it was fully burnt out and ended up dying, so this nut got away. I guess it's kind of poetic in a way, like the first nut died and the second nut lived. After all of that, I noticed the Grim Reaper started behaving weirdly, and then I realised he was going to the toilet, which I don't think has happened in my game before, but I know it's happened in other people's games. But at the very last minute, he just disappeared. He was like, "Oh, you're recording this? Well, psych. You thought I was going to the toilet? I'm not going to the toilet. I'm the Grim Reaper, I can do what I want." And then he just left. Just vanished.